I can spot an AI-built website in about 3 seconds, and so can the person you're trying to sell to. Now, if it looks like you've spent about a minute prompting AI to design your first impression, why would anyone trust that you're putting in more effort on your product or the service that you sell? Well, that's why I'm going to show you how to build a website that no machine can replicate. See, every AI builder out there is already trained on websites that exist online, so the best it can do is hand you the average of all of them. But when your website looks like everyone else's and feels like it's cheap, it's actively losing you customers, which means manual design matters more now than ever. After building over 500 websites for brands like NBC Sports and Boston Dynamics, I've narrowed it down to 5 layers that immediately put you a league ahead of AI and put you in a place where it can never copy. Starting with the one thing AI can't do yet is incorporating subtle motion. I recently tested every AI website creation tool, and each of them generated clean, professional looking pages, except there was one major issue. They were all static. And when it comes to web design, a lack of movement is an immediate signal that the site isn't premium. Just take this website from Hit as an example. Notice the way it eases as you scroll. The animations on the buttons as you hover over them, how each element moves in a way that draws your attention down and makes you keep reading. That's not just done to look cool. Construction is inherently always in motion. People on the site, the machines doing the work, none of it is static. So by drawing from that inspiration, we found ways to build motion into the site that channel what the actual work feels like. Why does any of this matter? Because it's the one thing no AI can copy. Motion is timing, how fast something eases in, how long it lingers. All of that is based on feeling. So a tool that assembles layouts has no way to author it. And even if it could, most AI tools work off of screenshots of websites. So it actually never sees the motion. So as far as it knows, it doesn't exist, which means this is the easiest place to instantly separate yourself. But there's a right and a wrong way to do it. Add too much motion and the website distracts you from the message. Instead, keep it subtle, add one motion idea per section. The idea is to keep movement as an accent, not let it distract visitors. Second, make every bit of movement earn its place by reinforcing what the business does. The same way Hit's motion mirrors a job site that's always moving, a law firm's motion should feel steady and deliberate, while a kid's brand can bounce. And lastly, use motion to physically pull people down the page. A good way to do this is by having your sections fade or slide in as they enter the screen to catch the attention and keep people scrolling. In the same way, adding a deliberate hover state on your main call to action highlights the most important action on the page. So when someone's cursor gets close, that is what stands out and encourages people to click. So AI can't move, but that's not even the main reason every AI website looks identical. The real reason is where it pulls ideas from. See, most people sit down to design a site, they start in the same exact places. They open up Dribbble, Behance, or a gallery of best SaaS websites, and they pull their inspiration from other websites. The only problem is AI does the same exact thing. That's why every website it generates has the same type of hero, gradient, blob, and uses the same inter font. It can't invent anything new, which is why your inspiration only comes from other websites, just like AI. You both end up with the same exact results, except you're taking longer to get there than it does. Which is why the key to making a truly premium website is pulling from something the scraper has no access to. And for that, there are 3 places that I would start. 1, the actual industry you're selling. Let's say you're building a site for a coffee roaster. Instead of studying other sites, look at the roastery itself. The burlap sacks, the stains on the aprons, the color on the beans, the logo. Now, you've got a palette and design elements no AI can think to use. The second place I would look is traditional print. That means magazines, newspapers, editorial prints, posters, and so on. People have been figuring out ways to arrange words and images on a page for over 100 years, long before websites or AI ever existed. So take your inspiration from there, and suddenly you're creating a site that's completely unique from anything else that exists online. Lastly, look at your product packaging, and this is probably the easiest choice of all, yet people completely overlook it. If you're selling skincare and your bottle of soft cream, tones, and elegant serif is the design, your website should mirror that. Once you pull from these real-world sources, you practically guarantee whatever you design will be both unique and on brand. The exact combination that makes your business look like a category leader and lets you stand out from all the competitors who resort to simply copying each other. Now, if you'd rather not spend your time learning how to use all these principles we're covering to create a premium website yourself, that's exactly what my team does for you. And you can get in touch with us by just clicking on the link in the description below. We built over 100,000 pages for clients like 23andMe, JLL, and Boom Supersonic, all designed to look like premium industry-leading sites. So if you'd like us to design a website for you that AI and your competitors can't copy, click the link below. That brings us to the third principle, putting real things on your page. By that, I mean photography, product UI, client numbers, and artifacts. Building your website around these elements is one of the simplest ways to make your website unclonable, because no one else has your exact UI or products that look exactly like yours. AI does the opposite by default. It reaches for stock photos lorem ipsum because it has no real pictures of your business and it has really no idea what you actually do. And people pick up on that immediately. A photo is the first thing the eye lands on. So before anyone's read a single word, they've already decided whether or not you're the real deal. A stock model in a headset who's obviously never worked for you makes the decision for them. So the moment you actually drop something in that actually exists, the whole feeling flips. So the first move is to invest in real photography, the best quality you can manage. And if budget's tight, don't spread it across the whole site. Put it where it counts, your homepage, your about section, because that's where people really decide whether they're gonna give you the time of day. Take AG America here. Everything on their page is clearly real, and that alone makes the whole website feel like you can trust it. The second move is to not skip video. Even plain talking head videos can go a long way because they add a personal, trustworthy touch in a way that nothing else can. So a 20-second clip of you actually talking on camera on your homepage will beat any polished stock loop. And again, nobody else has your face saying your words, so it can't be faked. So your site looks and feels real, but there's still one more place it can blow up: the writing. And this is actually counterintuitive because you'd imagine the one thing LLM does right is be able to put words together. But in my experience, it's actually a big giveaway why that website was AI generated. Because copy may sound professional and correct, but it reads like every other page on the internet, using the same rhythm and words that everyone's already sick of. You've seen them. Phrases like elevate your brand, seamless experience, unlock the power of, in today's fast-paced world. As soon as somebody reads one of those, a little alarm bell goes off in their head that says a machine made this. And then they start wondering what else is on autopilot in your business. But the problem also runs deeper than just being an AI giveaway. Your words are the only part of your site that actually talks to your customers. So if they sound like no one, your company feels like no one. Now, the best way to fix this is simply by giving your site an actual personality. Treat the brand like a real person and ask real questions about it. Is it serious or friendly, quirky or authoritative? If an actual human being, what words would it use? What would it never say? How would it explain itself to a stranger it just met? One of my favorite examples of this is Basecamp. Their copy sounds like just one specific, highly opinionated human, which is exactly why whatever they say actually sticks with you and you never confuse it with someone else. That's the kind of personality you should bring to your website's copy. And if you're not sure how to apply this in person or what sort of voice your brand has, an even simpler way to figure it out is just by reading your copy aloud. If you wouldn't say this to a client's face, it doesn't go on the page. And that brings us to our last layer on the list, and this might seem like a small change, but it's exactly why it matters, because the details that give your website an either AI slot vibe or an intentional premium website feel are what make the difference. So what do I mean by that? Your font pairings, your grid tension, your white space, and every little unconventional yet intentional choice you make when it comes to the design of your website is actually what makes it unique. It creates a fingerprint. And that fingerprint is the exact thing that AI sands off, because a model is always trained to move towards the average, whatever is safest. That deliberate chunk of white space that you added, it fills it. That headline that you let crowd the edge on purpose, it centers it and fixes it until it deletes everything about the website that made it feel human-made, which is a shame because getting this right is basically free. Taking care of the details doesn't cost any money. You just need to know what to pay attention to. And when it comes to premium websites, there's a few rules I like to keep in mind. First, stick to 2 fonts max and use them with real discipline. For example, say you pick a bold font for your display type and a clean readable font for everything else. The rule is that bold font runs for every single header and the readable one runs for every subheader and paragraph all the way down the page. You never let them swap or deviate from this rule. That repetition is the exact thing that reads as designed instead of just thrown together on the fly. Secondly, make your headlines genuinely bold with enough weight and size that the eye knows exactly where it lands first the moment the page loads. Third, keep your body copy easy to read. Now, I'm sure this sounds obvious, yet people still get it wrong. The words on your page need to be big enough to read on a phone without zooming, dark enough to contrast against the background, and spaced out enough that it doesn't feel like a wall of text. And last, the fonts you have actually suit your brand. A law firm and a toy company should never be caught using the same typeface, because the font should feel like the business before a single word is ever read. And that's the 5-layer checklist for a premium website that AI literally can't copy. This matters because a premium website goes beyond just looking professional and also closes more deals. If you'd like to learn why, I break it down in this video. Watch it next. I'll see you there.